Hey there, Saber friends. It's SpaceWindu here. I wanted to show you my latest custom lightsaber. This one is for my friend Brandon. Brandon is a visual effects artist for motion pictures, and this one, he's really not too concerned about the sound as much as he is with the light. So if you guys know me by now, you know I'm going to obviously put the Crystal Focus LS inside basically all the sabers that I make if I can. So Brandon wants to test out the light string effects on camera. So I made him a lightsaber that's great for dueling because Brandon is a heavy dueler, and we're going to finally test out my light string blades on impacts and stuff like that. So basically going to make him a couple Crystal Focus LS lightsabers, and he's going to bang them against each other on camera, see what kind of effects come out of it, see if anything breaks, stuff like that, see how that looks on camera. So basically I made this lightsaber as a dueling lightsaber with a rubber grip. So thank you, Eastern57 off the FX Saber forums gave me the awesome idea through one of his builds that I could do a rubber grip on my lightsaber with sort of hidden buttons here, like poke through the rubber little buttons. I also installed the rice port for the real-time configuration editor for the Plector Labs Crystal Focus LS that's in this lightsaber. Also the kill key, I made him a little custom kill key here as a brass accent, go along with the blade retention knob here for this extra deep custom saber shop emitter, which is basically a blank emitter. So it had a really deep space there, slot for the blade. You can see the DIN plug right there. It's an 8-pin DIN plug. If you want to know where to get the DIN plug, you go to the Plector Labs website, you click on the manual for the Crystal Focus LS, and inside the manual you will see a link to this type of DIN plug, which is the 8-pin DIN plug. It's for audio equipment, and I think that it works the best. I've seen and bought other 8-pin DIN plugs. This one recommended by Plector Labs is the best one. So this lightsaber here has 6 custom shroud pieces that I made for it. It has a custom saber shop shroud on the bottom near the pommel here, and a larger shroud to cover the TCSS shroud over top of that, and then yet another piece for a total of 3 shrouds on the bottom near the pommel. It's kind of what I call multi-shroud technology, and not the first one to do that, but I think that is really cool to add layers of the shrouds like I did on top here. Put bunny ears on the 3rd shroud. The 1st shroud over the MHS part has Graflex style emitter look, and then I have an outer ring of thicker shroud material here, and another custom piece with some wedges cut out just for a cool other universe look here, and the bunny ears on top with some brass accented screws there. So that's a couple of brass parts, including this bike valve at the bottom. And now, as you can see, there's no holes in this pommel. Yet somehow the saber still sounds pretty good.
Han, can you rig my lightsaber?
Okay, so it's pretty loud. I was kind of surprised with how much volume was coming out when there's really no sound holes in the saber at all. Okay, so it's really nice 2-watt bass speaker from the custom saber shop. Now, since Brandon maybe doesn't want some of the sound when he's using the lightsaber because he's going to be filming and maybe that's going to be distracting, I put a little switch here. in between the main power button and the auxiliary button, which is actually going to turn off the sound. Now the saber's still on, but I just put a little slide switch so Brandon can turn off the sound if he wanted to, rather than have it in mute mode, which is by hitting the auxiliary button and then the power button before you turn on the lightsaber. With a crystal focus card, you can actually have the sound muted, and then it'll have the retraction sound when you deactivate the saber. That's in mute mode. But for Brandon, I gave him a little switch here, and hopefully it's out of the way with the dueling. With any dueling that he's done. Now I have tuned the lightsaber here, and hopefully every of the 6 sound fonts is going to be tuned properly. But of course, with the crystal focus LS or any crystal focus, there's so many options, and especially with the light string board, you can actually do a lot of different things, such as blaster deflection, lighting effects, which maybe, you know, Brandon might want to turn off, so I'll be able to tell him how to do that through the SD card or through the rice. You can make a lot of, maybe 90% of the changes he'll be able to make through the rice port here. And if he wants to change sound fonts and stuff like that, basically he's going to have to open up the pommel here. This is also, actually, let me show you with the saber on, because it's kind of cool. So that's one of the sound fonts there, and then you'll be able to tell that it gets louder. Okay, so he can always he'll always be able to play with it with this pommel cap off, if he chooses to do that, to get better sound, or can actually undo this nut here, this bike valve, and get, you know, the hole back, which is, there's a little hole in this pommel cap, which you can, you know, get that to become a hole again by just taking out this apparatus, this like custom greebly that I put together for the pommel for like a counterweight. Now, to get into the SD card, what you're going to have to do is this screw on the top can be loosened a little bit, which allows the speaker pod to come out. Okay, and there's the SD card. Let me see. The SD card is right there, accessible through the crystal focus. Just get some tweezers, and when you're done, you just put this speaker pod back. Okay, and then when it's secure in there, just to kind of tighten down, that screw again will put the pressure on that speaker pod, and then it won't be coming off. So just tighten that, put the pommel cap back on, and you're ready to go. So what I've done here is, this is a 7.4 battery pack, 7.4 volt, charged through this area right here. So Brandon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a charger, and you just plug in the charger here. The charger is going to have a green light when it's done charging. And then what I've done is put the best battery pack in here. It's the 18650 twin pack from the Custom Saber shop, with the highest current rating. So we should get great performance out of this string blade lightsaber, and I'll show you with a blade in it. So what you do is you just have to take your blade, if you could see that there's some pins, and you want to face, you can see how there's a slot there, which is like the bottom, and you want to fit that into your DIN plug. And what I set it up is like the bunny ears are kind of a guide for that section. I'll undo the, just loosen your thumb screw here. Click the blade in, tighten your thumb screw. That's gonna be the blade retention, that's gonna stop the blade from sliding out. And then you just turn on your lightsaber with the left tactile, and you have auxiliary effects with the other auxiliary switch. Or okay. And is that brighter than an MR? Okay, so of course it's a lot brighter. It's kind of no contest. Of course my blades are going to be brighter than the MR, a lot brighter. And so let me show you some of the different colors that I'll be sending. Alright, I'll do a demo for you guys with some different colors, and this is for Brandon to see what I'll be sending. Maybe just a couple different reds, including this one here, which has white flash. And all these things are changeable through the rice cable. I'll send you rice cable that you plug into that port. Change the sound font by holding the auxiliary button until you get into the menu, which each sound font is signified by a boot sound. That one was Heirloom by Mad Cow, that's number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a number 1. This one I believe that was number 3, so that was Return of the Jedi. This one is from that new Old Republic game where they used the yellow lightsabers.
What did you say?
For the Old Republic expansion pack. Okay, so that's a red. Show you a super crazy one that might look good on camera for you. Let's see. This one is inside a Photon Tube by a custom saber shop, and I packed this one with 54 12mm white LEDs. So this is just a wild, bright, yellowy type of green, and this might be one of the brighter colors. And what you have to do is on the power button is just hold it down for a second or two so you don't accidentally hit it while you're dueling and things like that. I'm not too sure how this 12mm blade with these big fat LEDs is actually going to hold up with the dueling. I had to modify them to fit in a lightsaber blade, and when you feel it, you'll feel that it's pretty heavy because these LEDs are quite big, but you do get a really cool blade effect from not only the Photon Tube but those super bright white LEDs. You have to let me know how that blade performs. A couple of the colors did 2 just in case, you know, if you're filming something and one of the blades fails or something goes on, rather than wait for me to make one or send you one, I'm going to give you 2 of the same color. So this is a 8mm white, which on camera maybe it's going to look a little blue or a little like a New Hope color. So that's pretty cool. These blades are pretty bright.
Don't make me kill you.
This is Unnatural by Link. So there's going to be two of those white style blades. There's 2 greens. A powerful green, which is pretty bright. This one and the white being 8mm, there's not a room inside for flash on clash. So when you clash, there's not going to be a separate string in there for an extra color. Like you saw in the red, there was like a white flash. This is a gold color, not as bright as some of those other colors. The warm colors tend to be not as bright, but this one does have a wild flash that I think will maybe come out good on camera.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
So this is going to be from episode 7, this sound font. This one's kind of cool. It's got a very fast ignition and retraction here. It's pretty cool. The 7th bank is your songs. If I play them on the YouTube, they'll probably ban this video, but you can go in and listen to Star Wars songs and have the blade go up and down if you hit the blade activation.
I call it luck. In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Sound font number 1 is Heirloom by Mad Cow. Very cool. Like episode 4. The second sound font is Bespin.
What's in there? Only what you take with you.
By Mad Cow, and this one represents episode 5. So you got the episode Empire Strikes Back sounds. And the third sound font is from Return of the Jedi, called Hero by Mad Cow. So you could, play with the different sound fonts, or like I said before, just turn off the sound if you don't want to deal with the sound.
Come on,
You have to depress the auxiliary button to select that sound font when you're in the menu. You'll be able to tell you're in the menu by that background song, which is like the Qui-Gon's Funeral Pyre song. You'll be able to hear that in the menu. Like if I go into the menu with the auxiliary, it'll play the boot from that sound font, and then you'll hear it'll go into a background song. And all that's configurable in the SD card, some of it through the rice. He says you can tell we're in the menu right now, and I could cycle through
What's in there?
different sound fonts, stuff like that.
Dark. I call it. What's in there? Only what you take with you.
Okay, so I hope you all like this saber. I hope it does well for Brandon when he starts testing out for the camera and for dueling. I put some foam grips underneath the rubber here, and then heat shrunk the rubber around the lightsaber hilt for a fine place to grip. I have a belt clip right here for your cover tech if you need to. Like I said, the bottom here is customizable if you want to take out some of these greeblies. That's kind of just there for a counterweight on the hilt, but if it gets in the way or you want some more sound to come out, you can remove that. Closer look at the front here. And there's some other projects I'm working on. I'm working on lightsaber for David, for Steven, and for James at the moment. And then after I'm done with those, hopefully by the time Rogue One comes around, I'll be finishing up the other two for Brandon. In the meantime, I might loan him my Quiflex or something to, basically duel against this lightsaber. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to learn more about custom lightsabers, go to FX Sabers forum online, check that out, and you could also go to the Custom Saber Shop, has their own forum, and the online store, obviously, but check out the forum for a bunch of hints and a bunch of tips and ways to build your lightsaber, a lot of different ways. And if you want to check out the circuit board that's in this lightsaber, go to plectorlabs.com, check out all the different products that they have. For right now, the Crystal Focus LS that's in this lightsaber hasn't been made for a while, but they are going to come back with a new version of the Crystal Focus LS, and it's going to be even better than this one. So hopefully that's going to be by the end of the year. You can just keep checking back at Plector Labs, and eventually at the Custom Saber Shop they will have Crystal Focus LS, just like they have Crystal Focus and Nano Biscotti and the Petit Crouton, the Prism, and all that stuff. They're going to have all the different sound cards, including right now, they just listed the Blaster Core 5. So if you're building a blaster, you're not really into lightsabers, you can check that out. Or if you're the type of Jedi that needs to have a blaster too, you might want to check out one of the blaster cores. Alright, so I think I've rambled enough. Thanks for checking out this lightsaber, Brandon. I hope you like it. Give me a call or anything if you need help. Talk to you later.